Okay, we're about at the end of this. We may make another video when we make a stand for it. This is just a plastic washer I made out of plexiglass, 1/4 inch hole. I may put a star washer on here. But this motor turns counterclockwise by facing it. The screw turns clockwise. Now I should know by all my bicycles which way the screw will tighten as it's running. Well, I haven't had the other one come loose, but that would be a warning on there, because even on your bicycle, on your pedals, the direction that it's going, that's how it tightens. So to me, this would be the opposite, but I may put a star washer. I have not had one come loose yet, but it's not too bad. We'll run about the speed we normally would run for sanding. Clean up my little stick that I use the glue with. I think I mentioned that somewhere in a video, other video. You can make these. They're great for gluing. This paper's not glued on here. I've been making these and not gluing the paper on. It seems to stay pretty good. It doesn't flop around. So I'm sure if you went over here like this, went over like that or something, but it does stay on there pretty good. So I'm not going to glue them anymore. Just your emery paper. I don't know what grit this is. You get it in a pack of like 40. It's either 40 or 46. 40 grit, 60, 80. Then there's like a 120. Only $4. You get a whole package of it. So you can do a lot of sanding discs. It has to be cheaper than buying sanding discs. That was the whole idea. Make a cheap tool, make it cheap to put the disc on it. I don't do a lot of model car building. I've done some years ago, or wood model building, but whatever little projects I'm working on, now I've got a sander. Even like polishing a center punch or something I make. Or these little metal shafts. See, I was making a sewing needle and I wanted to, or something out of a little piece of metal pin. Get on camera. Get the idea. That's really shaky, didn't it? I have tried balancing these with some sandpaper. I'm barely touching it, so it no matter how good you are at grinding them out, they're never going to be perfectly round. A lot of that I think is in the bushing in the motor, because it'll start shaking. If you've seen it on the video, it starts shaking clear down in here. So I think it's just the bushing in the motor, because the old, or you're putting so much force on the poor thing. But enough of this. This video is going to be long enough. I'm going to have to split this in 2 parts. You could be watching this in part 2. I have no idea how long I made these 3 little clips. That 3D look here. Good enough for homemade. I'm sure you can go buy a little grinder, $30 or so, some little mini grinder, but this didn't cost me anything except what the epoxy cost, the 2 different epoxies, and I've used it on several projects. I finally ran out of the quick weld, I finally ran out of this, so that's the only cost I have into it besides my time. This just came out of the scrap. I may have paid someone something for the sewing machine. I may have paid a junk guy or somebody $1 or $2 for the sewing machine, and the other one I got was given to me. So, a few dollars. There's less than $5 in all this, the parts. I bolt this to a big block of wood, it might take some of that vibration out, or put some rubber mounts on it. It doesn't vibrate that bad in my hand. I'll press down real hard. It is shaking to death. It even runs this slow. That's enough of that noisy video. Thanks for watching. Okay, here's the foot pedal for a sewing machine. This is plugged in. It's missing the cardboard. Do not stick your fingers in there. It's like a rheostat. You see all them spring things? The more that you go through, the slower it'll be, because it builds up resistance. The more I come towards the piece at the bottom, the less coils it has to go through. This has to have a piece of board or something made for it. Clean up some of the terminals. The plug. If anyone does this, do this at your own risk, because it's not polarized. I had to grind off the wide part of the plug. You have motor and light. If you plug it in the light, it's going to be full speed. That's for the light bulb. The motor is what's variable. Mercury Electric Products Manufacturing. Mercury Electric Products Manufacturing, 6 amps, 125 volts, 3 amps, 250 volts. So no sewing machine ever plugged in it was more than 6 amps. The other one's 1.3, and I think this one I'm just working on is about 2 amps because it's more wattage. Just to show that. It shows motor and light. So it's enter at your own risk. You could rewire this. So if you went through here, which I may, you could rewire this so you could mark the cord, and you will have this on the white. White is white, neutral. House current black is positive, unlike on a car. Yeah, I could wire this so this is safe. So, if you plug it in the motor into the light, that's really full juice, just to show everybody. Okay, let's tip this over without getting shocked on camera here. This is just some magic marker Sharpie. It was a red. I mixed red with some black. It turned into like a brown color underneath the bright light. Kind of like a mahogany or something. Looks like a piece of wood. And you could put a screw on here somewhere. You could put a screw down here. Don't get into your electrical though. But you could figure out some way to make this adjustable. I'm sure it was enough. Even if you had, say this is on a wooden base something, you came out here and had another piece of metal and you had like a bolt you screwed down, or you just run it with your foot. This might be tiring. Well, you can play race car driver with your power tool. I guess it's a guy thing. Give them a chainsaw, weed eater, what are they going to do? Find a comfortable speed. I don't know if anybody ever run a sewing machine floored. I don't want to. I want to see it, but no, I don't. Nobody make no video out there and get hurt and ruin your mommy's sewing machine or grandma's. When you get your butt kicked. So it does seem to work. These would get dead spots in. You have a spot, then it would go. See? That's kind of how it's built underneath. It'd have a dead spot, so you'd have to overcome that. when you're going from each terminal. The motor don't attack me. Said this is just running through a coil, like an electric heater has that flat stuff or coils. So it's gonna not have as much electricity getting to the motor. That's the easy way to put it there. But if you see the little round copper brass right there, that's where it's contacting. That's your different speeds. You got 7 speed. Well, 7-speed grinder. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 7 speed. I don't believe I got a fly in here bothering me. You think it's scared away? Let's play the motor like that. I'll make this too long. It's already a 2-part video. But I figure sometime in the winter time when like I get bored, I'll be looking for any kind of video. First gear, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Let me see how one of these work. This was supposed to have cardboard on it. It's probably going to have a piece of wood on it. Maybe even plastic. I may put plastic as an insulator. But if you can see how old that is, I think I need to add a new cord, different things. You can see the rust in there, the moisture. It just needs to be taken apart, redone. You could use it like this, use it at your own risk. I don't know how this block comes out, but this gray stuff with the writing it's some kind of fiber insulated ceramic. As heavy as this is compared to metal, I think that's ceramic. Like on your old antique wiring, you had your double blade switch, and that was a white ceramic. Okay, I went back and reviewed, and my video got cut off. I had this other little part. If you look down in here, there's a screw in there, at about there. See it in there? That other piece is your spring back in here. That's how this comes out of here.